a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view, no one to tell. I'd give anything to see the sun again.
Well, hello everyone, this is Mia from Morning Concert Bilingual Show, and I'm here in the studio. I'm joined by Peabo Bryson, none other than the Peabo Bryson. He's a two-time Grammy-winning artist, and you might have heard his song from A Whole New World, which is the Aladdin theme song, and also Beauty and the Beast. Now, Peabo, how are you today?
I'm fine, Mia, and yourself?
I'm great. I'm so excited to have you here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
How's your preparation coming along?
As per normal, it's coming along fine. I have an excellent group of musicians, and we know each other and know what we want to do.
Okay, that's great. Now, just to mention here, we also have Tony, who is going to chime in from time to time and just to
hello, everyone.
Explain a few things.
Hello, people.
That's great. You know, a lot of people have said that listening to your songs is like getting a big hug from a familiar friend, you know, and it's really amazing knowing that you can give a virtual hug through songs. How do you manage to do that?
Well, I think that's a great blessing to be able to use music to reach out to hearts around the world is what music is really made for, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Where people feel it the same way, regardless of whether they understand even all of the words. They understand the feeling. If you're sincere in what you do, and or if you're sincere in how you approach your music and how you perform your music, how you record it and how you perform it, then people will feel it all over the world.
Yes. I understand that because music transcends culture. Because I'm also a musician. I do music composition too.
Oh, right. Good. Yes. Then you know how music transcends culture and language barriers.
Yes, of course, that's true. Okay, let me just translate what you've just said to our audiences. Okay, 刚才这个派波布里森他跟我们讲的就是说，因为刚才米娅在问，因为很多人说这个佩波的音乐呢，就像是和一个老朋友一起拥抱一样这样的感觉，就是他怎么能够做到用音乐能够产生这样一种效果呢？然后佩波就说呢，音乐确实能够冲破这种语言呐、冲破文化的这种障碍，直接让人与人之间是心与心之间的交流，而且同时呢，也取决于你怎么样去传递，怎么样去表演这样的这个音乐。
Right, and I think I read somewhere that Sam Cooke was a great influence on you, and you were impressed how his voice had such a pure quality and it's also straight from the heart. So I assume that you took this point and also applied it very early in your career and that you kind of approached that as your, secret for success.
Yes, I you could say that, Mia. For me, that those artists like Sam Cooke and Jackie Wilson and the Drifters and the original R&B artists, they kind of defined the meaning of music for me. That it was meant to do exactly what Tony said. Well, what we were talking about is about transcending barriers of all kinds. And if you think about it, music, our lives are marked to some kind of music. Every low, every high, every middle ground, every confusion, every hurt, every happiness, every love is tied to some kind of music, some piece of music. And if you can tap into that, then you're actually communicating with everyone because human beings are the same all over the world.
Yes, actually we have the same emotional feelings. No matter what language you are saying, you still need to... You still have the same thing like happiness, angry, and sad. Yes.
And culturally, I mean, my first trip to Africa, you hope to find some kind of, for me, I hope to find some kind of connection with Africa because I know that some part of my ancestry is from there. But so when I was being processed, passport-wise, in this VIP section in Johannesburg, I thought it was music playing on the speakers in the building, and it turns out that it was a live choral group from Soweto.
Wow.
And I didn't understand a word, but I understood every emotion.
OK， 那么刚才派博就是说呢，他到非洲去旅行的时候呢，因为这音乐确实是表达这种喜怒哀乐啊，不管你说什么语言，什么样的文化，他在那里去，他的故事就是在那里，他听不懂任何一个字，但是他能够感受到非常的准确那里人的这个任何的情感。
Now, it's funny you say that. I do agree with that, and I think that in order to do that, you have to open your heart, and you have to sometimes wear your emotions on the sleeve. Did you ever find it hard to kind of wear your heart on your sleeve like that? Because it's like saying, here I am.
No, Mia, that's my nature, and I think that's the nature of all people who make music. If I were not a composer, maybe not. I may find it harder. Mm-hmm. But if you compose music and you write storylines to that music, then you're really exposing yourself. And if you're going to be a creator of music, the gift of creation is divine to me, and so that means that you have to be objective in a way that you're not normally objective. You have to be open in ways that you're not normally open. In other words, if you create music, you have to be willing to be the victim, the victimizer, and the recipient of all good or bad that goes on in life. You have to play every part.
So that means you have to be open-minded and don't care about what others look at you.
Cannot care. You cannot care. You have to just be open, and that takes a specific kind of courage, but it is a very special kind of blessing. So the trade-off is well worth it to me.
OK， 那么刚才派波布里森就是讲呢，他在做音乐的时候、写音乐的时候，或者是唱歌的时候呢，很重要的一方面就是自己要敞开心扉，因为它是一个完全展示你自己的一个过程。在这过程当中呢，可能就会接受到不同的人的意见呢，所以你要非常的要有勇气站在那里去表达你自己，不管别人怎么看待你。
Now, I think that's probably why you've had such a long-lasting career, and you're obviously not done yet. And with any career, there has to be some obstacles and bumps on the road. Did you ever experience that? And
I think he just mentioned that, the courage.
The courage.
How did you overcome that?
Yeah, you got to be willing and have whatever it takes to overcome whatever obstacles may fall in your way, because there's going to be some opposition. In Chinese culture, it is the yin and yang.
Yin and yang. Wow. So how did you learn about this Chinese culture thing? Yin and yang.
You have to read, and I had the pleasure of visiting and performing in Shanghai. Mm-hmm. And China is a fascinating place. Its people are fascinating. Its culture is fascinating. And I was honored to be able to perform underneath the Space Needle, and it almost became an instant star there, because television is so powerful there. If you're on television and everybody's watching, there are a lot of people watching television in China. You're on a program.
That's their favorite, watching TV.
Well,
right.
Yeah. So
is that the way you learned about yin and yang?
Well, from reading, I'm a voracious reader, always has been, and I love to research cultures. There's no point in being in this world and not looking into what's in every culture, because there's always something wonderful to be had, and some tremendous knowledge that will be helpful to you in your everyday life in every culture. Mm-hmm. There's knowledge to be found.
So 这个佩波就是告诉我们，他非常的觉得中国的文化是非常迷人的。他曾经也在中国大陆去访问过，那么那里边人很喜欢看电视啊，所以他也感觉到这个能学到了一些中国的文化，比如说阴和阳啊这些方面，而且他觉得任何的这个文化都有它的非常重要的一个方面。
That's great. So you started in music because your family was such a huge music lover. So
yeah, my mother especially.
Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, my mother was such a music buff, music fan. She had to go, and my grandmother didn't want to keep all of her children, so she made the two oldest go with her.
Okay.
So that's how I was afforded the opportunity and the blessing of being able to see Sam Cooke or Jackie Wilson or the original Drifters. I saw the original Ike and Tina Turner Review. I saw the Nat Cole Trio. I saw Billie Holiday once, for crying out loud.
Wow.
Every great song that's ever been. I saw Little Anthony and the Imperials. I saw every great song that's ever been, every great act that's ever been. I actually saw them and up close, personal, and live, and watched what they could do. And what they did was really, really amazing to me. It left a lasting impression, and it's what I incorporated into my music, into my career, and probably one of the main reasons that I'm still around.
那么佩波这讲呢，他们在小的时候呢，他是家中最年长的一个，然后皮波的童年呢，他的对音乐的喜爱也是源自于他的母亲，所以那个时候呢，母亲也经常带着全家人去看一些各种各样的音乐会，也就造就了他今天的这个对音乐的一个造诣。